What deal did you make with your child expecting them to give up? My daughter Tallulah fell in love with animal rescue at 9 years old during a school field trip to the shelter. She came home completely obsessed with fostering homeless pets until they found permanent families. I was barely surviving between hospital shifts, night classes, and single parenting. The last thing I could handle was pets constantly rotating through our house. I finally snapped during another one of her rescue speeches and declared, "Save $400 for supplies and emergencies, then we'll foster." I figured that impossible challenge would shut her up permanently. The plan backfired spectacularly. This girl went into full entrepreneur mode overnight and started collecting every bottle and can in the neighborhood. She organized yard sales featuring stuff she actually loved and convinced the old lady next door to pay her for garden work and mail collection. Every month she would pour out her money and count it with laser focus while announcing her progress. $47, then $61, then $83. I thought her dedication was adorable at first. Her commitment reached frightening levels of intensity over the following months. She started getting up at dawn to hunt for bottles and park trash cans, and made actual flyers advertising her services for odd jobs, while other kids bought video games and candy. Tallulah hoarded every cent like her survival depended on it. The school book fair came around and she walked through completely empty-handed with her hands shoved deep in her pockets. Halloween meant collecting candy specifically to sell at school the next week for double the price. Profit margins beat sugar rushes every time, she told me with complete seriousness. The obsession intensified dramatically as more months passed without any sign of her losing interest. She researched veterinary costs and animal care requirements like she was preparing for doctoral exams. She drew up detailed feeding schedules and emergency protocols, then practiced handling techniques on her stuffed animals for hours. Other kids called her weird for never spending money on anything fun, but she didn't care one bit about their opinions. Birthday parties meant politely asking relatives for cash instead of gifts, and when they ignored that request, she would ask for receipts so she could return everything. 2 complete years passed with this relentless focus, never wavering once. She walked dogs for neighbors every afternoon, pet sat during family vacations, and sold practically everything she owned that wasn't absolutely essential. She kept detailed logs of every dollar earned with little animal drawings next to milestone amounts. Her determination impressed even the most skeptical adults in our neighborhood. Then she burst into my bedroom one afternoon holding that mason jar like a trophy. I have $400 exactly, and I triple-checked all the math. Pure joy was radiating from her face as she announced her incredible achievement. I should have been celebrating with her, but my stomach immediately dropped into hell. 30 minutes earlier, the social worker had left my house after delivering devastating news about my sister and her husband dying in a horrific car crash. We were getting emergency custody of their 3 kids who were ages 4, 6, and 8. Our quiet house was about to explode with traumatized children who needed constant attention, and the timing could not have been worse. My family went completely ballistic when they found out I was planning to keep my promise despite the circumstances. "Have you completely lost your mind?" my mother screamed over the phone during our heated argument. "You're about to have 3 grieving kids and you want to add animals to this complete nightmare?" My father's reaction was even worse when he called back later. "That child manipulated you for 2 years and now you're prioritizing her selfish wants over those babies' desperate needs." But I looked at Tallulah's face and saw 2 years of sacrifice that had shaped her into someone completely different. I saw determination and commitment that I had never witnessed from any child in my entire life. I couldn't bring myself to destroy that level of dedication. The weekend arrived and we drove to the shelter together. She carefully selected a pregnant cat named Luna, who needed somewhere quiet and safe to have her babies. And that decision turned out to be the best choice I ever made in my life. Luna immediately gave those 3 broken kids something gentle and nurturing to focus on, besides their overwhelming grief. When the kittens finally arrived, watching new life grow slowly helped them believe in hope and healing again. The daily feeding routines created desperately needed structure when absolutely everything else felt chaotic and unpredictable. Soft purring became their primary source of comfort during nightmares and panic attacks. 5 years have passed since that controversial decision, and we're still fostering animals regularly. Tallulah runs the entire operation now with the same passionate dedication she showed during her original savings campaign. My family still thinks I'm completely crazy for making that choice, but those foster animals became exactly what our entire family needed during the darkest and most difficult time of our lives.